The night was heavy with fog, the kind that swallowed sound and blurred light. Downtown Washington, D.C. had long emptied, but inside the towering glass building of Titan Industries, a CEO sat finishing her work. Claire Hamilton, a woman of sharp intelligence and unshakable poise, had just signed the deal that would change the tech world. Yet as she shut her laptop and rose from the mahogany desk, danger was already waiting in the shadows. The black van had been parked across the street for an hour, its tinted windows concealing 4 armed men. They were professionals hired not just to scare her but to take her alive. Their employers wanted secrets, leverage, and power. And tonight they would strike. Claire stepped out of the building, heels tapping softly on the pavement, her driver already waiting. But before she reached the car, the van screeched forward. The side door slid open and masked men leapt out with military precision. Within seconds, the driver was down, struck by a blow to the skull. Claire gasped as rough hands grabbed her arms. "Move, lady. No screaming or you're dead." The city was asleep, no witnesses in sight. It was the perfect ambush, but what the kidnappers didn't know was that someone had been watching. From a rooftop nearby, a man with piercing eyes and a hardened jaw had been tracking them for days. Known only by whispers as America's guardian, he wasn't military nor police, but something more. A protector forged by battles unknown, carrying skills that legends were made of. Tonight, fate brought him here, and fate had chosen the wrong night for the kidnappers. He moved like a shadow, descending the fire escape silently until his boots hit the ground. By the time the kidnappers shoved Claire toward the van, he was already behind them. "Let her go." The voice was calm, steady, almost unnerving. The kidnappers froze. Claire turned, her wide eyes landing on a tall figure in a leather jacket. His stance powerful, his expression unreadable. "Back off, hero," one of the men sneered, pulling a pistol. In a blur, the guardian moved. His hand struck the gun aside. His elbow smashed into the man's jaw, and before the others could react, the first attacker lay unconscious on the ground. Chaos erupted. One kidnapper lunged with a knife. The guardian sidestepped, grabbed his wrist, and twisted until bones cracked. Another swung a crowbar, only to find it caught mid-air and thrown back with brutal force. Claire stumbled back, shock written across her face. She had seen combat in movies, but this was something primal, efficient, terrifyingly precise. The kidnappers, realizing brute strength wouldn't win, tried to drag Claire into the van. But the guardian wasn't done. He ripped the van's side door off its hinges and yanked the man out, sending him crashing onto the pavement. Gunfire erupted, bullets sparked against concrete as the last kidnapper opened fire. The guardian pulled Claire down, shielding her with his body as he rolled them both behind a pillar. "You okay?" he asked, his voice still maddeningly calm. She nodded, too stunned to speak. He darted out, his movements too fast to track. 2 shots rang out, but when the smoke cleared, the gunman was disarmed, groaning in pain, his weapon now in the guardian's hand. Within minutes, 4 trained kidnappers lay defeated, their weapons scattered, their pride broken. But it wasn't over. The guardian knew this was only the first wave. The real threat was still watching, waiting. He turned to Claire. "They'll send more. We need to move." She hesitated. Who are you?" "Someone who doesn't let monsters win." He guided her quickly through side streets, his senses alert, his every step measured. Claire struggled to keep up, adrenaline burning through her veins. She had built an empire with intellect, but tonight survival depended on this stranger. They reached a black motorcycle hidden in an alley. He handed her a helmet. "Hold on and don't look back." The engine roared to life, echoing off the empty streets as they sped into the night. Behind them, another van appeared, headlights glaring like predators' eyes. The chase was on. The guardian weaved through traffic, his reflexes superhuman. Bullets whizzed past, shattering glass and denting steel, but his grip never faltered. Claire clung to him, her fear mixing with awe. Whoever this man was, he wasn't ordinary. At a bridge, 2 SUVs blocked the road ahead. More masked men spilled out, rifles raised. "Hold tight." The guardian accelerated instead of braking. At the last second, he swerved, the motorcycle skidding sideways as he kicked off the ground. The bike slid under one SUV while he and Claire rolled clear, landing hard but alive. In the same motion, he grabbed a loose pipe from the ground and struck 2 men before they could fire. It was a storm of fists, steel and fury. He fought like a man possessed, each strike calculated, each movement efficient. Within minutes, the ambushers were down, groaning in pain. Claire stared, breathless. She had seen boardroom battles, courtroom wars, but this was raw survival, and this man was its master. Finally, they reached an abandoned safe house on the outskirts of the city. The guardian checked every corner before letting her inside. "You'll be safe here," he assured. For the first time, Claire found her voice. "Why me? Why are they after me?" "They want your company's AI defense technology." "They think you're the key, but they didn't expect me." His eyes softened for a brief moment. "Rest, I'll handle the rest." But Claire, still trembling, stepped closer. "You saved my life. Who are you, really?" He hesitated, shadows flickering across his face. "Just someone who—" Couldn't walk away. Silence hung between them, thick with unspoken truths. She saw not just a warrior, but a man carrying invisible scars, someone who had fought battles far beyond tonight. The night ended with the sound of sirens approaching, backup finally arriving. The kidnappers were arrested, but the story spread like wildfire. By dawn, headlines roared, "America's Guardian saves CEO from Ruthless Kidnappers." But what shocked everyone wasn't the rescue. It was what Claire Hamilton did next. At a press conference, standing beside the mysterious Guardian, she announced, "Today I stand not as a victim but as a witness to courage. This man saved me, and I intend to ensure America never forgets him. From this day forward, Titan Industries will fund a nationwide initiative to support protectors. Like him, unsung heroes who fight in the shadows." The Guardian said nothing. He hated the spotlight, but for the first time in years he allowed himself the faintest smile. The world called him America's Guardian, but to Claire, and to those he saved, and he was simply hope.